What's up, everybody? I think I'm gonna begin vlogging now, and I don't know. I've been very confused. I've been very, I felt very disorienting for like quite a few months after leaving my job, and I've delved into a bit of self study, trying to figure out like what I want to be doing in my life, and what kind of job I want to be having, and why did I make a few decisions, and like just introspecting and trying to see certain patterns, certain kind of points where I've made crucial decisions that have put me on a particular path. And having done that for a while, I mean, it's not that it's made my the process any better. Like, I've got additional clarity, even though I mean I've been able to like see a kind of behavior within myself, and like in the history of me making a few decisions. But I also realized, oh, I've come to like a point of where I need to ask questions like, what kind of career do I want to have? Yes, I've had a background in industrial engineering, and I've had courses in like a wide variety of domains and fields, be it electronic, be it computer science, be it management, and and now I mean I seem to apply for a few jobs, and those don't seem to like click at all, and I'm more or less getting offered uh, positions where I did not necessarily require a degree in engineering, and it does not. It kind of like makes me like wonder how did I actually spend doing anything, uh, you know, solid that that actually would offer me a career, or was it or was it more like a a diverse, like a big eating plate with food from all parts of the world, and I'm just like eating a little bit of sushi and a little bit of pasta and a little bit of idli and dosa, and I mean it seems like, I mean, obviously I agree that I mean one would need a master's to like be a specialist in something, but also you would also need to like work in reverse, or like reverse engineer from the point of looking at what career do you want to have, and what do you want to be doing, and what complex project do you want to be uh, working at or working in, and so I mean that leads me to ask this question as in, what am I actually passionate about, or like in plain words, what do I think about, what topics do I think about, what keeps me like introspecting, or what keeps me busy, at least mentally busy, and I keep coming back to the same kind of streams as math, as computer science. I mean, because I mean these things more or less I do think about it more than other things, like say for instance biology, and say uh, physical science, like sports than sports, even though I don't exactly uh, I don't exactly do too much sports, but I do love running and swimming. But anyway, coming back to like what keeps me occupied, I mean I seem to like keep coming back and looking into uh, you know the these lines of thought, and also about finance and banking, and understanding how accounting works, even though this seems to be more of like very basic, very primitive kind of concepts that that I introspect on, and that I think about. Obviously it's a niche in itself in each of them, and yeah, and so I'm actually pondering about kind of applying for jobs that would give me a career in these fields, maybe, if that was a possibility. And yeah, I've been seeking a lot of help on YouTube, and thinking about other people who've done their own you know who have done their own undergraduate programs, and who've worked in something in a maybe a diverse, or a complementary field to what they've actually specialized at that level. And I mean I'm not the only one in the boat. I'm not the only one with this dilemma, if I may, yeah. And it seems like there are more than just one person who's been, in this situation, and so I can take a little comfort. I mean, if I should, but I mean, that's not the point. The point is, like, what things you do, like what activities that you are a part of and you participate in defines your career more than like the piece of paper, the college degree that you have. I mean, that's the point. I mean, that's the point of everything. And I mean, like, when people do a few things, when people do things in general and get and continually get better at the same, that is when they become much better, and they become much more competent. And that is what I mean I'm looking at. I'm looking at, yeah, whether I am competent, whether I fulfill the prerequisites to like participate, to engage, and to produce, and to provide in that respective career path, that respective job. And yeah, and this got me thinking about programming, and this got me thinking about software developing uh, as an actual job, as an actual long term job. And even though I'm at the moment today, this evening, I'm, I would say, more or less like an amateur in software. I understand the parameters that you work with in software and developing and coding. I understand, like, an English definition, or like an English language definition of what these jargon, these terms are. You know what I mean? Like, what's a pointer? What's an integer variables, and loops, and classes, and all of those things. Object oriented programming versus structural programming, embedded programming. I mean, these are just like, these buzzwords, but I mean, you so the point is, I can choose to like do things which is even something that I did not specialize in. If anyone's able to like produce and to spend that amount of time, that X or the N number of hours in that respective field, until they get to a stage where they are much better, the much better version of themselves, like a month ago or like a year ago. And yeah, so all I'm trying to say is, like, industrial engineering, I mean, that sucks. I mean, I don't mean it sucks, but I just want to say that it's something that you do at a very later stage rather than at an earlier stage. And it's something that, a manager or a managing director, MD in an automobile firm, or in an oil and chemical firm, or somebody who's in a managerial position does, and benefits from, by understanding all aspects of industrial engineering, about supply chain, about quality, and not getting into the depths of each of these domains, but to an extent where they can cross functional, which gives them cross functionality, basically. And yeah, so kids, those who want to do industrial engineering as a major, as a bachelor major, need to really introspect if you actually know what this would provide, and if this is something that you're keen on. And yeah, and I'm not hating on the degree, but I'm just trying to like outline the nature of the course. And I'm not trying to put all the onus on a piece of paper, on a degree program. And I'm obviously, like, putting all the pressure, I'm putting all the responsibility on my plate, and saying that, hey, I mean, like, anybody who wants to do anything in life, any kind of complex activity, any kind of activity, basically, any career, any job, it's just about doing those functionalities or specific functionalities in that job, and and doing it for a long time. And it can be like days, it can be months, it can be anything. It can be like a lifetime. I mean, like if you want to get good at it, special at it. I mean, like you watch. I think I remember watching this TED talk where they suggest that a person becomes a specialist or completely proficient in something when he completes 10,000 hours, whether it'll be like 5 years of a full time job, basically. So I mean, so whether or not I agree to that, or like I disagree to that, or that makes any sense, I would suggest, if you can, or I would like, I would define it, as to like, if you can think of something while you are doing something completely different or mundane, like if you're thinking about, like you fixing your car, or like fixing an automobile, or about like the economy, or trying to like do something more creative, for instance, like a painting, or a future painting, or a future piece of music that you want to be writing. If you can do those things while you do other things, like driving your car, like if that engages, and if that keeps you occupied, yeah, if that keeps you occupied so much that it kind of like seeps into like your head, it seeps into your mind, like when you're doing completely some things completely different from that, then and if and if this is like not just like an evening of it happening, if it's something that is continual, I mean, it never ceases to stop. If never ceases to stop, I mean, that is like, at least whether or not you are a specialist when that happens, it definitely means that you are engaged, that you are on the path of like of being better, or being more specialist than you were the day before, or like a month before, or anything. Okay, so all I'm saying is like, yeah, if you want to be good at something, you got to do it, and you got to do it so much, you got to do it a lot. And and there is no deadline, but it's what it is. And that's how people become specialists. That's how people become like brain surgeons, and rocket scientists, and software engineers, and people who change the world. And yeah, so I mean, no matter how old you are, I mean, preferably you are not very old, you can pick up things completely different from what you've been traditionally uh, engaging with, or traditionally trained in, and do it so much, and so much, and so far that you are a completely new person. It's like that you become something so different from who you are, which is a good thing, if that is positive, and if that opens so much door, if it opens a lot of doors, if it opens a lot of doors for you, and for your future job or future career. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna be doing this for a while, because this probably helps me, like vlogging and getting my ideas and my thoughts out, and putting it out on maybe YouTube, or like Twitch, or wherever. If I do that, and if I strengthen both my muscle memory of like setting goals, and doing side projects, and also building intuition in say, like I said, I'm doing something new, and something different, and something completely diverse from what I've been trained at. So yeah, if I set these kind of goals, and set these kind of side projects, and commit to them, it probably helps me. And I think I'm going to be doing this a lot more. I'm going to be seeing you, whoever gets to watch this, probably like uh, probably two people.